I started out in the 5th grade with Mr. Pruitt, and in the 6th grade when I was going to the next step, I thought I would be going to the junior band. I ended up in senior band. I ended up in the band at that particular time, never hit junior band, and thank you. I don't know what you saw in me, but I appreciate it. After 6 years of being in the band, I'm probably one of the only few that were in there that long that are in this 80s group that never got to see a championship. We lost in my last year by 0.2 of a point to Somerville. And even though Mr. Young taught us to be thankful and still be nice, I still grit my teeth. I was in the band, I think, from 75 to, and I graduated in 81. I'm one of the few that, I'm one of the group that wore the big Busby hats. Yeah. That made you, Emery Ford is saying, that made you feel when you made a right turn, your body was going to turn left. And we were the ones that had to do the real mark timing. I don't know what that is y'all do now. As long as mine. I was in the band when Mr. Young wore those shorts. I was in the band before he got married, Margaret. And we used to see different cheerleaders every Friday night. They used to say, they'd come from Carolina. I think they used to follow him or something. So you look at him, he's looking like, I know she's not saying all that. I was in the band with Mr. Young. We had a lot of names for Mr. Young. Billy Boy, Billy T, William Young, all sorts of things. But you know, he knew we said every one of them, and he let us go on. He would get us back, though. When he got angry with us, just like our parents, I remember some names he called me. I'm the Amazon woman. You remember that? I didn't remember. He called me, not many men can get away with that but Bill Young. He'd say, you're an Amazon, what are you doing? You're facing us. But anyway, I was in the band on those hot summer days when Mr. Young would get so mad with us, he'd have us out there dehydrated. Our parents are scared to say anything for fear of us being kicked off the band. And he'd get mad with us. We know he was water deprived, but he would get so mad at a whole group of us. I remember one time, and Emery probably remembers this, he got so mad he went to grab a stick, and we looked, it was a limb, a branch, and he was saying, y'all get it right. And then he got too tired to pick it back up, and we could only laugh. But you know, I laugh at the new group, and I say, y'all don't get the fun stuff we used to get, because he's so nice now. Through the entire practice, Mr. Young's top part of his face would be red. And you know, one thing I liked about him, he never chose, he wasn't picky about who he picked on. If you deserved it, you got it. And I could appreciate that. There used to, you know how it is, we're in a community that's a kind of crazy community, but I love this community. People say, is he prejudiced? And they say that, I still would hear that, yeah, Mr. Young is very prejudiced. He hates stupid people. I don't care what color you happen to be. If you're stupid and he knows it, you're going to know it just by looking at his eyes. I don't know what it is about him. He expresses everything. He gives you one of these looks. Am I right? He just gives you one of these looks that tells you, shut up. But anyway, he's one of the few that told me, and Tommy, let me correct you. I was not voted to be, and Mr. Young, you'll remember my conversation with you. I was not voted to be band captain because I was mean. You remember when you said, you're too mean to be band captain? But I did all the work, you know. And so I was John Philip Sousa, and the Director's Award, and recipient for that year. Mr. Young is probably the only other man that has ever called me mean on a regular basis, and he told the truth, other than my father, and got away with it because he knew me. And he's the reason why a lot of this stuff has gone on. I don't think I've changed much over the years, Mr. Young. Mr. Young sent me off to Carolina to play in their band with Mr. Copenhaver. He could have told me that Mr. Copenhaver did like this and that's why he did like that. You'd have to know Mr. Copenhaver at Carolina to understand, and Mr. Young knows because he played for Mr. Copenhaver. Now that I'm all grown up, what has Mr. Young done for me? I will never, ever stay in a Days Inn hotel. I like the fact it was fun at first, you know, a little country girl from Michelville getting to go all these different fun places. But after I graduated, after all those years we stayed at Days Inn Hotel, I won't stay there again. Now, on the positive side, when I graduated from high school, he doesn't know that I know it, but Mr. Young in a teacher's meeting spoke up for me. Thank you. It's because of him that I got the Citizenship Award for the school. He rallied for me. Thank you. Professionally, today, he's one of my biggest supporters. When people don't understand why I take the position I take, he's always been there. Thank you. Personally, he keeps my husband in check. Thank you. He's the only person that can say certain things to my husband and get away with it. I often reflect on a lot of the things I used to see going on the band bus, Mr. Young, and how you dealt with those conflicts in my closing arguments. Some things that happen in the schools today, people get arrested for, used to happen on the band bus. And thank goodness you didn't get those guys arrested, or we wouldn't have them as productive citizens of society today. I look at, and when I come before City Council, I know that I have a friend in Mr. Young. And I know that if I'm wrong, he's going to tell me I'm wrong. Or either his eyes will tell me, sit down and shut up. Now in retirement, Mr. Young, I want to tell you a couple of things. Now that you're retired and you've got a grandchild, just one thing. Stick to the trumpet. Teach him music. Don't try to teach him how to boat. Most of you don't know, but Mr. Young has this beautiful boat that he copied after my husband. And he, I guess, Dolphus and Tommy, you know, the lubricant that you put on your slide, well, he must have put too much of that type of lubricant on his boat. And when he was trying to get his boat launched, it slipped off because he put too much lubrication on it, right? Mr. Young, stick to the trumpet and let someone else teach your grandchild how to boat. In retirement, have a good time. It's well deserved. A lot of people don't want you to leave, but I believe that there are a lot of great things that you can do for this community. 1/10 of what you did for this school, Colleton County will be better for it. I want to say thank you for teaching me some valuable lessons. You took me to Jimmy Carter's inauguration after a lot of peanuts, and a lot of fun, and a lot of cozy rides up there to DC. I'm a staunch Democrat. Thank you. You also taught me in closing how to speak my mind. And I do that. Sometimes I may be wrong, but at least people know where I stand. And you always told me that was okay. When I argued with you as a 6th grader over how to play something on West Side Story, you stood there and you listened to me, even as I called you as a 6th grader Bill. Thank you for not kicking me out of the band. Thank you for letting me play I don't even know what it's called anymore. I hadn't played it so long. Play it and play it until I got it right. And then you said, okay, yeah, you are right. And then you won't. Thank you for at least allowing me to express myself. Thank you for teaching me a valuable lesson about prayer. Every time, even though now we don't like to have prayer in the schools, every time I reflect, before I do anything, I do what you taught us to do. Pray. That's very important. And I don't know whether or not they do it anymore, but thank you for instilling life's important values in me. Thank you.
Wasn't the band captain, but I do remember saying yes ma'am to her. She was a lot bigger than I did. Our next speaker from the 80s era is our drum major from 1981 and 1982, and a dear friend of mine, Dr. Vonda Gilligan-Calcutt.
Commitment, camaraderie. These are the words that describe my band of Blue. I started playing the flute in the fall of 1996 under the instruction of Randy Pruitt. And the following year I had the privilege of becoming a member of the Band of Blue. It was August 1977 in a typical South Carolina heat and humidity on a field riddled with potholes behind what is now USC Salkehatchie. I was an alternate, learning how to march 8 steps to a line, marking time. And if these newer band members don't know what marking time meant, that meant your heel came up to your knee and that toe pointed downward. Bill Young would expect nothing less than our very best. He demanded respect, and he got it. And he molded us into a fine marching band. We were committed to be the best that we could be. We did not win state championship that year, but at least that was the last year of those Busbies. The years went by, but the commitment remained. We got new uniforms with those stylish Aussie hats, but there was still no championship. In the fall of 1980, I was privileged to become the drum major along with Robbie Goodwin. We entered the Chrome Dome years, or the Scrubbing Bubbles, whatever you want to call them, and we placed second in state championship, the best yet that the Band of Blue had ever done. I graduated from Waldeboro High School in June of 1982, along with Tommy Finnegan, and it was the end of the era for many things. We were the last graduating class of that old Waldeboro High School. There were no more practices on that old, riddled plot of land that we called a practice field. There were no more practices in that old, crowded band room that leaked and acoustically was terrible. There were no more parade practices on Chaplain Street back behind where the old high school is. And there was no more wondering if the Band of Blue would ever win a state championship, because it finally happened that very next fall. But it took years of commitment and dedication to achieve that great accomplishment. Now, camaraderie. Webster's dictionary defines it as a spirit of friendly good fellowship existing among comrades. We, the members of the Band of Blue, worked together, we laughed together, we cried together, and we had a lot of fun together too. One example is when I was going through some of my old paperwork and clippings and everything, I ran across this, and the year was when we did the Bach opener. And back then, our arch rival was Somerville. And Curtis Conrad and Obie Scoggins took the Charles Daniels Band, the Devil Went Down to Georgia, does anybody ever remember that song? And they mixed the words, and we would sing this on the band bus going to championships, so I wanted to go over some of it with you. If you know the tune, you'll kind of hear some of the words in it. Somerville came to Waldeboro looking for a band to beat. He was in a bind and he was way behind and willing to make a deal. He came across this blue band and this band was playing hot.